do a post-lunch without coffee session, but I see that this group is quite enthusiastic. So, and we promise to be in a good, engaging discussion and keep you awake. So, with that, let me quickly introduce myself. My name is Meenakshi Dhingra, and I work with Google AdWords Sales. I've been with Google for the last 5 years. With that, I'll just call upon the panelists. Please welcome Aarti Joshi, EVP and co-founder, Moda Company. The next one on the panel is Anu Kalluri, founder, Medes. Our third guest today is Dharuni, co-founder, Best Hands. Finally, we have Meghna, who is the founder and chairperson of Fountainhead Global. Welcome all of you. It's great to have you here. And let's start with a quick introduction.
I'm Aarti Joshi, and I'm co-founder of Moda Analytics. We are into data analytics, and my primary clients are banks, insurance companies, and big retailers.
Hi, I'm Annapurna Kalluri. I run a food products unit with a brand name Navya. We manufacture nutrition snacks and nutrition foods, and my factory is located here in Hyderabad in BH University. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Dharuni. How many of you are awake?
Let's go for it.
That's right.
I'm just checking. You can change my name.
Dharuni.
Okay. I co-founded Best Hands India. We are an art and craft NGO. We're based here in Hyderabad and have a small little studio in Rajbhavan Road. Our idea is to bring in more vibrancy to the art and craft space here. I think that other than Silparamam and of Have India or In Habit, there are very few options where you can get good gifts you want to give yourself, first of all, and then for other people as well. We had two separate thought processes. One is to bring in more stuff that we can possibly from other places, work with our NGOs, network with other people, and see how we can actually, how do I say, like I said, the vibrancy part of it. The other is to also look at bringing in more workshops. Like I think somebody just mentioned, you want your kid to go for a class, and you know they're interested in painting, they're interested in anything at all, and that you don't have the kind of options. What we're trying to do is to bridge that gap as well. But currently we've had one workshop, we've had a couple of mailers, the response has been interesting. We are now going back to the board and looking at what the city really wants, that now. The second, which we would like to focus on, is taking the craft and art of AP out of the city. I think I've taken a lot of time, I'm going to move on. Oh, you have it.
Good evening, everybody. Am I audible?
No.
Okay, that's all right. I mean, everybody can hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hi, good evening, everybody. I'm Meghna. I'm the chairperson and the correspondent of Fountainhead Global School. One of the slides which you saw saying genuinity was about my site up there, and I'm also the founder of an NGO called WeOw. It is like Save Water and Nature, because that's my philanthropic side of me. This is a school which I run for very young children. So, I've been the first person to finish all the 5 circles what Google is talking about today. So,
Meghna is a part user. She can do a session on Hangouts to G+ to any other questions that you may have.
yeah, I can help because I can share my experiences, how it was and how it worked. You can ask me all the queries or questions you have.
Thank you for the great introductions. I think we have quite an accomplished panel, and I'm feeling a little nervous at the moment. Let's start with understanding the concept of women empowerment. So all of you left kind of the mainstream jobs or lives to kind of start something new, and have done really well there. So how do you define women empowerment in your respective fields?
women empowerment, what really it is, sharing knowledge, educating each other, and creating awareness among ourselves about the opportunities that exist for all of us. And I think in the process of doing so, encouraging and also strengthening each other. I'm talking about women entrepreneurs.
I think as women we are already empowered.
Yeah,
And
there's
there's
really no
nothing-
empowerment.
And I think in the dictionary of women, I think each woman is already empowered, and it's only the coming out and showing it to people is one thing which has to happen. Otherwise, all women are empowered.
I think we're pretty much
And-
done with the empowerment thing. It's just going about doing your
Yes.
daily business.
Absolutely.
So it's
Everybody is empowered, and that is why I
Yeah.
think we are all here today.
I think it's knowledge, right? So,
Actually, she stole my line.
In Google terms we say +1.
plus one.
I have a lot of very cholesterol. I've never really thought of it as empowering myself in any way, really. It's just that I've made choices, I've moved on, I've done things I want to do, and I've never really thought of anything limiting me. But I think that from a generation like my mother's, which is very different, and she's told me this many times, if I had the opportunities you have today, if I had the kind of support you have today, the kind of access you have today, I would have done so much more. And that's the time when I realized that times will change and that we all change. And the concept of women empowerment is a very, very archaic, very, very, dodo. It's
Stop
shitball.
it.
It's really, it's not there anywhere in my dictionary personally. But then I see that as we work with people as a part of Best Hands, or as I see my mates struggling, I think the empowerment is really at that level. It's not us. We
Not us,
help
yeah.
those people forward. And that's what we would like to do as an organization. Okay, now I'm going to go. Soapbox.
Great.
Stop here.
All right. So moving on, I think in the last few years, getting online, using the power of internet has really caught up. What is the big role that you see internet or getting online, plays in your respective fields, and how do you think that kind of helps you, drive your goals?
We live in a digital age, if you will. We are booking tickets online, movie tickets, airline tickets, we're buying books, gadgets, clothes. There's a whole lot of consumer segment that is online. And if any of your businesses are not online, you're going to potentially lose this ever-growing segment. So it's absolutely essential for any business to be online. And you can be a small setup in Hyderabad and still be able to tap the global market by having an online presence. And you don't have to really spend a fortune on your marketing budget because it's really a cheap media. Do I make sense?
Yes.
Right.
I actually come from a very traditional kind of thinking, where when I initially started my business 3 years back, in morning when Mona was telling me that my generation, at least, we are not that tech savvy and we're using computers, and she said, you as youngsters can use it.
Yeah.
And I smiled silently, saying that I still belong to that kind of because I had a very traditional thinking where I said, okay, no. But then after 3 years, I realized when people started asking me, what is your website address? Do you do an e-commerce kind of business? I'm like, okay, now I have to move on. And that's when I felt, yes, being online is very important today because there's another thing is, if I am into a food products manufacturing, and if I have to travel all the way, we are making people know about my products and other things, it will take hours together to reach to one customer because the traffic in Hyderabad. And there's one thing which is again one of the factors, time. reaching customers faster is more important today, otherwise you're going to lose them out. And this made me feel that yes, internet is one tool, website is one tool. I mean, these are all the tools which you have to at least have in place. Not that it is going to get all the business out, but definitely going to help you show your presence to millions of people around the world. It is not possible with one you going around to all your customers and reaching out them or a set of people you have. So this made me feel that yes, this is one tool which we need to use in order to make ourselves more present, showing our presence to the world.
Actually, it is, I totally agree with her. But as a mom, I have two lovely daughters. One is 5 and she just turned 5 yesterday, and the other one is 7. So, trying to balance home life and the career with very limited time for you to do those extra tasks. Internet, I feel it's a magic wand. Sometimes I link it with a magic wand because it is there for me whenever I want it. I mean, 24 hours. No matter, I can't count on my husband as well. No matter how supportive and lovable he is, but I do count on the internet. Because as a mom, with 2 demanding daughters, I can get things done. I can get things posted to the rest of the parents who wants to know how their kids are doing in the school, who wants to know how their child performed in a particular event. So, sending out this kind of an information is very much important for me as I am the correspondent and for the parent to receive, because they want to know how their little one is doing in our school. So yes, being on the internet did make our life very comfortable, because all the teachers can work from their home, not spending hours together in the school trying to get things all updated online. So we have a daily report which is online, we have a peek into the classroom which is online, we have individual class websites where the parents can actually have, get to know how it's being taught, how a class is being taught. So which will make the information at hand. So yes, for a mom and a correspondent and an entrepreneur, it is very important for me. It's the most powerful tool which I have right now is internet, and being there and getting all these tasks done and also giving that individual time for my children is the best part, I can say.
That's actually very interesting.
There's something you can add to this. We've been attending the session since morning, right? We are being taught as to how it can be converted into business and money and money and money. But I think when you're talking about WeOw in particular, you can use this thing as a liberating tool.
Absolutely.
So it's giving me that much more time. It's sorting a certain necessity of my life, a certain thing that I've been told I'm not doing very well. So you're initiated into it, you sort that out and you put a chunk of time aside, but it's also giving me that much more time with my children and with my husband and blah, blah, blah. Rather than fretting, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing, and doing a sort of a shoddy job at the rest of your responsibilities. So it's a very liberating sort of a tool, if you use it well, which we don't, but if you use it well. So
absolutely. On one hand, we get to interact with our users, very, very well. We avoid all the traffic troubles and all the hassles of traveling places to meet our prospective clients, our users, collaborators. And on the other hand, it does give us a better work-life balance, adds efficiency to what we do. So fantastic. However, I still believe that whatever we have in terms of technology, I think we're just scratching the surface. There is a lot more. I think as users, we need to become a lot more demanding on what we want. So if you were to relook at what you're doing right now and whatever help being online is kind of doing to you, what more would you ask for from the internet or from the online community?
Security.
Yeah?
I face a lot of problems with security. Our website, initially which was with another company who promised so many things, was hacked
Yeah, hacking is
So
a big
I mean,
concern.
twice.
Hacking is a big concern.
It's a big concern. So later on, when I moved to Google, it really helped me. My mind is at peace because of the security, and that's something which we want from the internet. And for children, like, okay, I cannot avoid myself from the other side of me, which is a mom. For children, how safe? Because see, I tell them from day one in the school, my 2.5, 3-year-old kids also use their class website to see how they sang in the school, how they danced to those rhymes, and they wanted to express how they did everything in the class to the parent. But sometimes, it's not very safe, as we all know. I don't have to actually tell it.
I was just going to say, internet is so scary, and I don't have 2 boys, 10-year-old and a 6-year-old. I don't allow them on internet at all. And you might call me, I don't know what, but it's so such that you go to the YouTube and mistype any of the cartoon names there and see what all comes on.
Even if you don't mistype, even if you don't
mistype, okay, I just thought
you type for Aarti song, you get suggestions.
No, it's just,
That's it. And first thing comes up is this.
yes. So real.
Try this. All the naughty moms or all the naughty women. Why or how? Do. That's it. It will give you an option with all the
Take your pick.
I mean, yeah, kids and internet, I don't think it's a good combination. We are talking security for us, so let alone
They're
kids.
so scared putting out your personal information. One side you're saying is, okay, put out as much as possible, interact with your clients, this and that. And then on the other hand, you're so scared of putting your own personal information out there as how it's going to be misconstrued, or what part of that is going to be absorbed into somebody else's database, and what the hell is going to happen.
And if you just research, identity theft is the major means upcoming crime now. If you just Google it, you'll come to know how fast it is emerging now.
Yeah, the criminals are also getting self-savvy, so they don't want to go out in person and do the crime, so they want to do it from their living room.
Somewhere there is, sorry, please go ahead.
Yeah, all I wanted to add to it is, keep your personal life and business life totally unrelated, totally different. I have I have 2 Facebook pages. I should be saying this, but actually I have 3. One is for my close friends and families. One is for just the acquaintances. Though they have the circles and this thing, I really don't believe in any of their security. So keep your personal life and your business life separately. Just to answer your question. So you have to be on internet for your business. You need not be on internet. Like, say for example, you don't give a contact ID as aarti.joshi@modaganalytics.com. Oh my God. Give it as, careers at Modag, info at Modag or something. You just have to, draw a line yourself so that, you keep your personal life and your business profile totally, completely different.
She's not going to tell you about the G+.
I know circles. I know. Yeah, I know about the circles. It's just that it's just me. I'm just extra careful.
It is actually very, very tempting to go sell a G+ now, but I've been told and I'm being watched that I don't have to upsell any of the Google products.
No, I think if I could just make one point for this security, I think it's really important, especially given all of us are mostly women in this room, and security and privacy is really important to us. I think one part of empowering is to learn how we can protect ourselves online, right? So if you're going out there, putting yourself out there, putting your business out there, it's your responsibility. Go out there and find out how you can protect yourself, what are the tools available, how can you use them, and then leverage them accordingly. So I think the onus is really, the technology is there. There are privacy screens on your computers, there are stuff that you can have blocking your children from using certain sites and everything. So I think we need to be better educated at what we can do to protect ourselves.
Absolutely. It was a very fantastic point, Lisa. I think being aware of the security options, being aware of all the options that are available and how you can protect. It does take a little bit of time. Like personally, I'll share one incident on Facebook. There was like someone posted a porn picture on my profile and tagged me, and I wasn't even aware of who this person was. And later on, I figured out that if you do not uncheck a particular box by creating your profile, a friend of friends can actually tag you without you even knowing about it. So I think these are all fantastic, cool tools, but we really need to read that fine print which we accept without really kind of going after it. So it does make sense to invest some time in that.
It's just that it's just like your public personality. What you're sitting here now is certainly what you're not here for. Certainly not. None of us is. And I would think that by general, in general, as a rule, that's probably what you want to do when you're going live for the first time anywhere. That's what I try to do. Till I know that okay, these set of people I can interact with a certain way. And I also tell them that please let's keep this off Facebook. I say this to people a lot of times. They have pictures of parties, blah blah blah. I don't want them on my Facebook page. I just send them to me. Not every time that you're able to make a choice, but I think it's a much more intelligent and more, how do I say, thought out decision to keep your public persona as different from your personal persona. And that is very, very true and valid for most online interactions.
I just wanted to add to that. Sometimes it's not possible to do that for certain kind of businesses. Like for example, if you run a blog about food, recipes or something like that, the more personal you get, that gives the touch and that makes people come again and again to your website and look at it. So it's difficult to have for certain kind of entrepreneurs perhaps.
Right.
If you want to make it engaging, you can make it engaging in different ways. You can make it creative, you can give jokes, whatever, but your personal self does not need to be what you present on your blog, that's all. It may be difficult, but you just have to look at ways as to how you make it more engaging. That's it.
What I'm trying to get at is that perhaps going by the privacy awareness is a better option because it's not always possible to keep your personal self out of your
Right. Actually, like I said, we have a page for West Hands India. I'm just giving you an example. Now, there are events that are happening, there are different things that we are doing, and at the background, we are having a lot of fun. We keep them separate. The fun pictures go elsewhere, where only certain people have access to. It's as simple as that. There are times when our friends, we post something, our friends comment, and they say, you're looking wonderful in this. Then I make sure I log in as Haruni and not West Hands India and say thanks. I think these small things, and I think that it takes a while. It's not easy. I'm not saying that this what you said as an issue is not existing. It's very much there. It's just that I think you just say, okay, step back, like you said, understand what it is, and then look at what you really want to do. I think that's the most. I don't know if we're able to do it all the time. I'm not prescribing it as a 24-hour thing. No, it's not possible. But maybe we should try and do that.
I think also it's a mindset thing. You invest in your business. You put your money in there. You put your heart, soul, and time in there, right? One part of that investment, even if it is 3%, is to your privacy, your security, and how you want things organized for yourself. Whether it is going into your Google Plus settings and unchecking box, or reading the FAQs or the terms and conditions of every site, long as they may be. It's an investment you make. And if you actually look at it as an investment, then there is a return on investment for it, which is your own peace of mind.
No, but I also think there's, like all of us are living, and we've got the basic guidelines of living, but all of us are interpreting according to ourselves, this is how life should be. So I think even these things, they would always carry our own interpretation. You can have sort of guideline around it. You should do these are do's and don'ts. But at the end of the day, it's going to be a pretty personal interpretation.
It's also trial and error.
Yeah.
So it's basically, if you're investing
Which
your
is there for
2% of
everything,
time,
right?
figuring
Yeah.
out, okay, maybe I did this right, it didn't work for me, I'll change the setting and try. So again, that is an investment you take.
See, the thing is this. I'm just likening this to be like I have a mailer. Some people come to my stall and I'm interacting with them. There I'm just me. I'm Dharuni. I'm also the face of West Hands India, and I'm very aware of that fact. I'm never forgetting that. And I do that same thing when I'm online as well. That's how you probably want to look at it, really. And I make this choice all the time. But okay, who are the people I really want to show my monkey face to, and who are the people I show my business face to. It's as simple as that. Here in a forum like this, it's fine for me to be whatever I am. It's not fine when I'm like that. If that's the distinction we make in our everyday face-to-face lives, we would do the same in our offline lives too, or online lives too, in fact. That's all I'm trying to say.
Great. Okay, I think that was a very good discussion on what more do we want from internet and how careful can we be in sharing our data / using our users' data to best of their interests. Switching gears, social media has been one of the recent revolutions in kind of getting online. I think that's defining the way we kind of live our social lives. So leveraging that for your business is also kind of one of the key elements of the various ways you would do marketing for your business. So what are some of the things that you see working well for you in social media, and what are some of the things you would like to change? Yeah, go ahead.
Because you've done it all the prizes.
And she can talk about G+.
Actually, when we're talking about the social networking and social media, it's like more of a word of mouth. It's not like promoting your business. It's more like your personal experience, how you felt during that particular thing or an event. See, in this social media websites as well, there will be a lot of people who will be posting questions. For example, I have certain behavior for my child. Is there anybody who can help me with? Or something like, I'm looking for a good school, or anything. Like, I can only talk about kids and school, I'm so sorry. But these are the examples which I can actually give. So, where you log in as a parent, if you have your child with a similar thing, then what ways you used, what methods you followed, and did they help or not? Because it might not be the same with the rest of the other kids, because no two kids are same. But it is like helping them out. But how you do it is with the personal touch or with just trying to promote your business is again up to us. And the other things are like, suppose you have an event coming up, especially like I use events to update the parents, like when we celebrate a child's birthday in the school, we create an event on the child's name and we share it with the parent. So the parent also gets to share some pictures where his or her birthday is celebrated even in the house. And this can be shared among their friends and family, so they get to know how the birthday is being celebrated both in the school and in the house. So it's like the parent has, extra information they can share about the child from the school as well, and also from their personal life as well, or from their friends and family, because not everybody can come into the school. None of the parents are allowed to join their birthday celebrations. So this way it would help most of the parents to get involved into the events and create more events and offers. They can send the other way around as well. Suppose they've done something in their art and craft, for example. So they can just collect all these art and craft pictures and they can create an event and send it to the school. And in the school, we can also update with their art and craft pictures added to the same page. So this is how it can actually help with the G+. And the more you like it, the more plus ones you get anyways. And, that will make the child feel proud. Like, so many people liked me and so many people liked my pictures or liked what I did.
Question to you, Meghna. So, do you use G+ or Facebook? Where do you find your balance? Both. And you can be absolutely honest.
I don't contact many people on the Facebook as it's more a personal thing. So G+ is more towards my school. So.
I think
think most of us are accused.
No, the point we're trying to make is, I think one of the things I've heard about G Plus is others are not there. So even if I take the effort of learning it and going there, I don't find enough people. But slowly, I think people are getting there.
Yeah.
It's a
At least my parents are there to check out their kids.
And we know why.
All right. Okay. I just wanted to add on what Meghna said. That social media is a very good online word of mouth marketing tool. Very interesting campaign from Satya Paul Designer Label. So what the campaign is, share your precious moment in Satya Paul with us. What it really is, they ask their the customers to share one of their pictures in Satya Paul sari with them on the Facebook page. I don't know if they're there on Google Plus, but what it does is, like, since it's a precious moments for the customer, that family and friends come there, like the page, and what it really does is, word of mouth publicity online, because people are liking the page, and the whole Facebook page is getting famous. Needless to say, you get all these free models modeling your product for free and sending their pictures. So I think it's a very good marketing campaign.
Yeah, there's a flip side, I'm sorry, but I tried this with my store. Like, okay. I have a store called Cover Up, and I have a lot of customers who are there on my Facebook, and I sent out a mail telling them that we would like you to, put you on Facebook page, so please post your pictures. And you'll be surprised, I have a customer who sent some pictures in a party dress, and her husband immediately tells her, no, you just delete it, you can't do it. And a lot of objections coming. So Satya Paul is a big brand, and it's supposed to be a very prestigious thing to be wearing a Satya Paul sari, because it carries a social value. But for small time business people like us, I faced very difficult situations where people, once they posted, they immediately send a request, please delete my pictures, Mona, my husband is not happy with it, types,
I wonder, Mona, what your customers are really wearing.
No, but on another very serious note, what I feel is that are we looking, all these tools, are we looking for too much of validation? Which is a bigger concern, that are you constantly looking for how many likes you have on a certain thing, and that has to stop, because eventually what happens is that whether you say it or you don't say it, subconsciously that seems to be working as a validating tool. That I've done this, I've got so many likes, so this is the correct action.
That's a great point. I think this goes back to our previous session. We need to be very clear on why we are as a business on a certain platform, and what's our objective. Like, you could have 10,000 likes and only one sale.
I think that there's another
there's a psychological side.
There's a more I think fundamental reason. Yeah. We all are very aware that we live in a network world, and we're all very aware. The more I network with people, with like-minded people, the more I'm able to either A, do something which will help me get more information, or B, that I'm able to spread the word around. These are two. Now, if I look at validation and say, okay, number of people who like my page is a validation, that's a data that I am looking at personally, and if that defines me, maybe that's my objective, and that's fine too. However, if my idea is to look at, okay, what other business opportunities am I looking at? How else am I growing my network? Unfortunately, we seem to be focused only on Facebook or Google Cloud, but there's LinkedIn, there is Cloud, there is Glassdoor, there is so many others, and those are professional networks, and those are also social media. There are some people who are focused on getting 1,000 plus.
That's the only ambition.
Yeah, so I'm saying that is also validation in its own way.
Yeah, I was just going to say, having number of pluses on likes is one thing, but when you go to Facebook of some of the businesses, you go and go to the website as well, and you browse pages, and you can figure out by Google Analytics as to where your customer is going, what are they looking for. So you get insight as to what exactly your customer is looking for from your business. So I think that's a major plus than just the numbers.
Yeah, the numbers.
Numbers really, after a certain point, it really doesn't matter.
No, but we are able to probably sort of have a post-mortem on this, probably because we've reached a level where we bumped around and mature enough to understand. There's a certain maturity
that is required to understand, okay, this has to stop right here. What is the line? But it also becomes a part of education when you're promoting a product to say, this is where you need to stop and these are the pitfalls of,
this is essentially a problem with any of the branding campaign, because it's intangible. You can't really measure your brand. That's the problem with any brand. You can't really measure a brand. It's just you can just sense it. So I think social media, you can use it for branding, I like to say, but not really bother about the numbers. Because
the numbers would follow later on. But it shouldn't be the numbers. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. So you have to get out of that frame that it's not going to be about the numbers. And eventually what is going to set the right companies and the short-lived companies and stuff like that is going to be also, looking out for each other. And that's a very, very big thing. Are you eventually at the end of the day going to look out for each other? When I say I'm going to invest in Google, am I constantly being told to do the right thing? Or there is, always going to be a business angle to it? So I want to know that I'm going to be supported also on the right level, as in, am I doing the right thing? And they're going to educate me, okay, dude, just stop this right here. This is flipping on the dark side.
I have one thing to say is, I'm into the business of food products. And my intention is very clear. I have to make business out of whatever. Either I promote it on internet or do a direct marketing. What is important is getting orders for my products and closing the orders. And when I see the internet kind of tool which is being used, I see a lot of companies like Amazon did. I mean, today people order things on internet and it has become such a big store, which become a very big online store. And only one thing strikes my mind is, if that could create one big revolution altogether, why not I use such a tool to also create a revolution in the food product sector, where I really promote my products, get value out of my product, not just from one set of people sitting in one place, but around the world. This was the main intention with which I started off my internet kind of marketing. Otherwise, I really don't have a face on the Facebook. I have my account on the Facebook, but there's no face on the Facebook. People keep asking, what kind of Facebook are you in where you don't have a face? I said that I'm just looking for my company's face on the Facebook and not my face on the Facebook. So basically, the important thing for anybody in the business is to understand, why are you into it? My intention is very clear, is that I'm there to make some money, I'm there to reach to my new customers, and that is where I have entered this kind of revolutionized way of getting into the business, a new mode of marketing. And that's where I started making my website, that's where I started interacting with people and more on these networking platforms, to just see that I also grow, my company grows, and my group is known to people all over the world tomorrow, like today the Tatas and Reliance, and there's another Mattresses which is known tomorrow to the world, saying that yes, this company is recognized. And if I am not on the internet, people feel that this company, today anywhere I go and I'm asked, what's your website address? Are you doing an e-commerce kind of application? How do we order for your products? Do you courier the things there? We just want to place the order online. Can you do that? And when there is an answer said no, then people forget about my products. And to keep them updated and always keep in their mind that there's something called Mattresses with a brand called Navya, which is being sold by them. I want to get into this kind of networking and this kind of.
Absolutely.
And it is a pure marketing kind of tool which I am using it at, and nothing else. All these likes, dislikes and other things don't come into my mind, because I'm just with one goal of making my products. I don't know, I don't understand those kind of. The only thing is to see,
whatever is positive in this kind of internet kind of communication, for me what shows is an Amazon, the EastNets and the other things which are really working out for people, and I'm just here to test out and see why doesn't it work for me, let me work it out. Because I as a woman cannot be on travel all the time, and if this one tool can help me actually cut down all that, that's where I say I'm lucky and I'm at the same time success, and that's the whole thing about it.
I think we really appreciate the clarity of goals. Yeah, go ahead.
One last thing. That's what you talked about in terms of somebody posting pages or any pictures on yours as a part of a promotion, and that I think that was what you said, isn't it? That I accept people to post some things on my page as a part of their promotion.
What I was saying was that
not just that. That's a very
so we're focusing that yes, it's a marketing tool and all, but there's also going to be a social responsibility to anything that we add. And if you're in the market, if you're in business, you really want a model, a sustainable model which says that once you go to this company, you'll get the right stuff, you get the right tea, you'll not be cheated. Because part of growing up is also getting your major check boxes in place. It is very important. That's where we do our maximum research. As a mother, you want the best school. You're going to do the research before you get your kids into a school, and then you don't want to think about it. That part is sorted. I don't want to question my choices on an everyday basis. When I choose a lawyer, I want to do the research beforehand. So there are aspects of me existing the same way in a business environment. So when I say that I'm going to take Google as my advisor on the website and stuff like that, I want to know that I am secure. I'm going to be taught everything about it, and it's not going to be taken for granted. Okay? Because I want to shut that portion out and say I'm going to focus on my core competency, which is being an architect. I'm not going to manage that on a daily basis. I really don't have the inclination to do that. And the fact that my business is what is going to pump money into Google, I really need to be focusing on that. So I need to make sure that these guys are the best. And that would only come if they put in enough confidence in me and said, telling me that this is the right stuff and this is also the flip side, so beware. You will have to educate.
So let's look at how you make a decision if you didn't have the internet. You are a lawyer. What are you going to do? You're going to ask a friend. You're going to look up the yellow pages. And then you probably again will have a discussion with family. You'll see who recommends what to you. And usually you'll meet the people, the top 3 or 4, somebody is giving you as options, who's recommended to you, and then you will make an informed decision after that. Now, the way we unfortunately use this thing, if all of us guys focus as Anu is and look at that this is my business and there's nothing to do with this only really. If that was the case, it would be so much simpler. Because, but then at some level, most of us, our personalities are not so clearly defined. And we're not really separating them. I have a lot to really think about what she said. But coming back to your question, it's about the validation that one is, as you said, validation, where you use. I think it's less about validation and more about empowering your own self or making an informed decision. And that at every level, be it the web, be it anywhere, what I'm telling you now is only what face value I'm showing you at this point. You can only trust as much as you can trust in person or in a live interaction, that as much as you can trust in an online interaction. That somebody is validating it and somebody is recommending it is a plus for them. I think that's what I would think of. But then as a person who is looking at growing networks or who's looking at building relationships, and I think that as an NGO I don't really have a profit motive. So there I'm very, very clear about this, that anybody who wants to work with me, I'm fine with them. I don't think of them as competition. Nobody is a competition to me. When I approach it that way, then I don't have anything to hide. I have everything I have all the leverage to say, okay, this is what it is, this is what it is, this is what it is. So it's easier. Their business has to be clear about what their objectives are, what they want to project. Of course, there will be skeletons. I think we will figure those skeletons out over a period. I'm just saying this, I can sound flippant, it can sound quite, it's not really that, but I think all these are, if you look at even those likes and dislikes, like she said, people have been asking for a dislike button for almost 1.5 years on Facebook now. Facebook won't give you that because that's not the intention or objective of their network. Because that's not what they want. They want people to have a very happy ecosystem.
Happy-go-lucky.
That's it.
So another point I would like to add, I'm very sorry if I'm interrupting you. See, as we were talking, the discussions went on the security and the kind of things. I had a small experience to share. See, I was not online before. I was going to the customers. And if you see that way, that is also a risk. Going to customers, being women entrepreneurs, is you have always a risk. See, I have been personally going to all my customers, and I do meet scientists, I do meet people at all levels. But what happens basically is a human mind, there is always those kind of emotions and feelings which you cannot control. When I went to a customer, there's a time when I really experienced. I was talking about the subject, I was talking about the business, and he started something else. And finally, after I came out of the room, I always felt, what did I go in for? And today I see him calling me every day, giving me message every morning just to say, hi, how are you? Could we meet up? And I think that's also an intrusion into the security. I mean, this is there everywhere. It's only how you control things and how you bring about the kind of thing what you want to run. That's more important. I mean, yes, this kind of internet has been a little tricky on the security for children and other things, but your own personal security is always at that kind of risk. When you actually, as an entrepreneur, when you go to meet the customers, you always feel you're meeting a scientist at a very important level in the particular thing. You feel he is too very good, but where is the security? It's again a question mark. So I think that way I feel internet is a better tool. You sit in your office rather than going in so you're much more secure. Part of it.
I would like to clear a point. I am a direct example of security provided by Google, because my website, it's been with Google from now, it's been 1.5 years that it's been with Google. It was never hacked, but with the other company, it was only hacked within like 3 months or 4 months. So, but see, there won't be anybody who would be stepping in and saying this is right for you, but something right for you might not be right for everybody. So, it would be us who would be choosing how much can we trust this particular product. You can do, as you said, you can do the research. I mean, how many of them had good experiences, as he was telling, like, then you choose the product. This is how we choose, right? So, but there won't be anybody stepping in and saying, oh, this is right for you, you do this, and this is not right for you, don't do this. The options are open.
But you do that by putting out the correct information, right? The decision is ultimately mine.
Yes.
But that's what advertising is about.
Yes.
I'm going to be telling you the right information, and that's the ask.
Yes.
The ultimate decision is still pretty much ours.
Yes. So, to try to trust Google was your question, right?
No, I mean anybody in general.
Okay.
I think increasingly, like the entire internet is moving towards open platforms. There is a lot of information, there are a lot of advantages of using all the tools and technology available, but one has to be very, very clear in their goals, the strategy of what exactly do they want. Is it branding, is it sales, is it getting a number of likes, or is it just kind of moving on? With your exact targets. And I think, these open platforms do provide those options, provided we are clear about, some of the concerns, some of the options that are available to enhance security and safety of what we do. We are almost towards the end of the session, but before we wrap up, just one last question for each one of you. You've been associated with the WeOw program, for some time now. So, any quick words on what more would you want us to do?
I want the Google Plus page for my school.
Mine is really a B2B business. where I sell to other businesses. My main clients are banks, insurance companies and retailers. And I'm still not clear how to use all this online platform to market myself. Because my sales cycles are pretty long because it consists of workshops, proof of concepts, RFPs. So the sales cycles can pretty much go for 1 year. Right. So I can just get some business leads online, but how do I go about it when you're a B2B business? And that's what I was talking with Gitanjali earlier as well. All the women entrepreneurs I've met today are B2C businesses, and I do understand the importance of social media for the B2C businesses. But for B2B businesses, this is this space is really a blur where I don't know what to do with it. And I use social media for my clients. So I have to be aware of the social media, but I still don't know how to use it for my business.
Yeah, for me, WeOw has already made me wow, because I was like initially not using any of the internet applications, as I've been telling, but somewhere this has become a platform where tomorrow I see my business grow on this platform. And I think at this point of time, before I did any of my homework, I cannot demand anything from the WeOw program. Only to do my homework properly, and maybe the next meet, I'll be able to just ask for more, because you have given me those 5 circles and I'm just in the initial circle of building up the website. And I think there are so many other circles I have to pass through. So before I circle something to do from the WeOw program, I think that's what I have to do, and then maybe my next session I can jolly ask something from the WeOw program.
I kind of agree with, or rather I nod my head with what they said, and it applies very well to me as well, because Google Plus is not a platform that I found easy, and not WeOw, but Google Plus, as against other social media use. I don't want to name, because I'm sitting on a podium. But that said, I mean, it's just a personal choice that I prefer meeting face to face, and that's the reason I asked you before this we started as well. That it may be beneficial, while we say we are on the web, it may be beneficial for us to maybe informally meet, or if there's somewhere that can be facilitated. There are no other demands till further education, as she said.
Yeah. I mean, even though I've finished all the 5 circles, we do not have a plus fountainhead, because they don't accept schools for that social media. So I created a G Plus on my name, which is Meghna, and all my parents are using as a school.
I don't think that's true. I created a plus page for my clients, so I know for sure we can do it.
For the school.
For the education?
Because there's some, I tried a lot with Google, so they say no, we can't give a plus page for you because your kids are smaller. But then we say all these websites and are used by teachers and us, so I would like to have a plus page for my school kids.
I have some questions. Yeah. As it comes from marketing and all, as being a student, I would go for brands and promote that. Like I have Tommy Hilfiger, I have Steve Madden shoes and all on Facebook or Google Plus or something. But what about this small time business? How would you tackle such things? Like, students are the basic thing where, like your business goes on forward. Like they're the main, like for colleges, they go for kurtis and all. How would you promote your businesses?
A friend of mine who is running a very small business, and she was initially also directly marketing, and she was really not very tech savvy, and she was not using the internet. But very recently she's been using the Facebook for the kind of kurtis, for the kind of, she also makes such stuff. And I was amazed by the kind of business she made after she got into this kind of, because you have, see on the retail outlets, if I as a if I as a salesperson have to enter a retail store, I as a business person have to enter a retail store and place my products. As a small manufacturer, I am asked to pay an SKU for a shelf space rent for an SKU. and into so many stores, which will cost me lakhs. But today, internet has given me an opportunity without any cost, with zero cost, with your network, whatever is existing, you can make it popular, and also you can sell. Because I think she was making 1 lakh rupees a month initially when she had no face on the Facebook, that's how I call. But once she has entered the Facebook and these kind of internet working, she made a 1 crore business, and this is something which was amazing. And I think things, if you work out in a very planned manner, when you know what you have to focus on, I think even small businesses can grow into very big businesses using this internet tool, which is very cost effective. Because today media, if you have to use media like television or anything, you're just going to shell out lakhs of rupees on that. And you do not know whom you're reaching, but at least internet you can do such kind of trial and errors, because that's not going to cost you much. That is how you can definitely promote your products on it, and that is how people like, one of my ISD like Sarva are doing. They're doing great numbers with such kind of business. And apart from that, there are a lot of women entrepreneurs, a lot of other entrepreneurs doing big businesses using just a simple tool called internet. And that's not difficult.
And as you said, you're from the student community. That's the best network you can have to start with.
All you have to do is send a text, because students are very good at texting. They are there all the time with their mobiles texting to each other. So once you put up any of your stuff online, all you have to do is send a text message to all your friends and ask them to forward it to their friends and their family. It's not only friends stuff, but students. As students, that's the biggest, advantage. And in India, if you are from the MBA background, you must be knowing, as in India, we have the highest number of youngsters in the entire world, in any time of history. Now, we are empowered students as well. Any more questions? Actually, I was seeing some more hands up there.
We have time for just one more question.
Why do women are better managers than men?
You don't want us to.
We are not here to discuss any differences between men and women.
No, I'm also not asking, but I want to know, because I won't be going and starting up my business with women.
Get married and
No. I'm starting up a business which is with women. So I need to know what women think and what.
Many men will envy you.
Let's talk as a coffee board.
Because I think women manage those things what men don't want to manage, and that is how they become better managers.
They are multitasking.
Because we do a lot of other things which you really feel like, oh no. So I think that is the way women become better managers.
No, I think men keep pushing our boundaries all the time.
No, scientifically, I can share my thoughts. Scientifically, it is proven that a man can do a task very well than a woman, but a woman can multitask better than a man. So there is no competition between man and a woman, but this is how it was said after a lot of research for hundreds of years.
We just had a man
okay with sharing.
say that men organize better than women. He spoke about some article in the Hindu.
He must have written that.
I also want that.
I think that a generalization like that, women are better managers, is probably very incorrect. If
No,
you had,
that is
I'm just saying, as she said, it's about multitasking, they probably have to do a lot more. And there is a humaneness in them that when they interact, when they talk, they're just an understanding that men are probably not capable of. Men are focused on the bottom line, they're focused on getting things done, and that's about it at that point. The rest of it, your feelings, your blah blah blah, no, it doesn't matter. Whereas a woman would probably tell you at 9 in the night, she'd say, oh, you're still at work? Oh, why don't you go have a coffee or something like that. Probably that humaneness does. But I personally don't prefer to generalize these and say that I've had really bad women managers. I'm a woman too. Terrible woman managers. It's a very wrong generalization in my opinion.
Taking time into consideration, do you think
going online sometimes wastes time.
It saves time and give you the
Sometimes when your business is actually really small.
The grey areas are there anywhere.
I feel if you do not know how to use it, it's a waste of time, which I initially wasted when I didn't know how to use any of the things. But once you're aware of everything, then it's
time invested in learning as you would to develop all parts of your business.
Because I never used to understand where do I go, what do I do, and used to always trouble my husband, what do I do? He says, you learn it for yourself, you'll understand. And at least I'm in a better position now that I'm saving a little of time.
Yeah, I just want to add, don't try to reinvent the wheel. There are many women entrepreneurs who have already done it. So all you have to do is reach out and seek help, and you'll save a lot of time.
And the other thing, appointing a technical person to manage all our accounts, does it really help?
Accounts you should do.
Just to bring in a very humorous note to answer your question, it says that, so I'm using social media. It actually was a specific social media tool which I don't want to name here. It says that if I didn't have this social media or this tool, I would have had to call 645 of my friends and tell them I'm doing this. Or I partied last night. It's something like that. It's about how you put yourself out there, as we talked about earlier, and I think that offline, I'm able to deal with these many people. If I put that online, I'm able to deal with 700 of my friends or only a number of friends. All those people read it. What they do with it is a different matter altogether. But my reach increases. Validation, as somebody said. Whatever data I use. And the most important thing, again, is about what do I really want out of this? Am I trying to reach people or am I trying to sell? I'm trying to figure that out. I think it's a constant
back and forth.
To appoint a technical person, initially I did appoint a technical person and paid a lump sum to manage my website, to create one and to update things. Still, it is a very difficult task to get things going on when humans are involved than technology. Don't take it wrong, but I have to give them a call, ask them to update things on my website, and for some reason my call could be the 10th call for that particular technical person. So he has to update the first 9 and then come to mine. Whereas in Google, I got a platform where I update everything on my own. I don't depend on anybody, and I can update it any number of times in a day at any time whenever I have free time. Like I put my kids to bed by 8:30 and then that's it. I can sit on it, update everything till 12 o'clock. Next day in the morning when the parent gets up and then they check their mail, the information is right there. So always choose initially, when it is smaller business or a medium business, try to be as multitasking as you can. Like depend on yourself rather than depending on anybody and trying to think, oh, this is the most toughest thing that I cannot handle. Ask for help and it is there and it will help you.
One last thing, how can we approach Bob?
Right.
She's the product manager. Sorry, project manager.
We'll handle your question that report outside.
One small question. Everybody will be having a black day. Like, a situation comes where you won't be understanding what to do, what would be your next step, and then you overcome that. So any situations you came across?
Many.
When I saw that banner, this is when 2 years ago, when I only had daughters, 2.5, 3-year-old in our school, only daughters. Their cute faces were replaced by some militant flag saying your site has been hacked by some Pakistani militants. That was the situation I had when actually I saw that. And I didn't know what to do. I gave a call to this so-called technical person who I hired. He says, madam, that cannot be possible because we use the best security systems. It must be some leak from your... Sorry. From your...
So many fond memories.
So, these are the answers which come up first, because nobody wants to be responsible for something which goes wrong, because it's just basic human nature. You always want to seek out a way saying that I'm not the one who's responsible for that, somebody else is. So trying to make our lives easier, but that is more complicated than accepting it. So, and there are so many such incidents which come in a day-to-day life. Once you are into a business, any kind, service or a business, you have sometimes I do have faced very tough parents. They fought with me, why is that I won't give an admission in my school? I told them straight away on their face that your kid cannot suit our recommendations. First thing, we do not take any interviews. First thing what we do is, we'll see how well the parent can take care of the child so that they can appreciate what we are doing for the children. Simple. And trust me, there are parents who bring their children with all, I think, custard all over their dress. And they question me, they fight with me. Why is that my child will not get an admission? And even then, later when I actually explained, and they said they promised that they are going to take care of it, and it did real wonders. Those kids are outstanding kids in my school right now. Because the parent took the initiative why it was rejected and took the responsibility on him that I'll make it happen. So every day you will find different challenges. It's not that, for somebody one could be a challenge, for somebody something else could be a challenge.
Thank you, Neha. Great example. Just final words from Anu and Aarti before we wrap up.
Yeah, as entrepreneurs, I think every day has challenging things. Because when I initially started my business, everything looked good on the project report, what we initially made. I did all numbers, calculations, and showed a very big turnover. But I also took a bank loan on top of it because I showed a very good turnover, the bank could give me a loan. But finally I realized after I started the actual manufacturing, the first day the packing machine doesn't work. Another day another extruder doesn't work. Another day I make the entire product, I don't know where to sell. I made it because I know my ingredients, I know my recipes, so I made it, but I don't know where to sell because people are not ready to take it. And I think such situations keep coming on and on into your business, and unless we should have the patience, confidence to actually bring over, and every problem has a solution in itself, and that's not something which I'm just telling, but it is out of the experience of the 3 years. So I think if you have that kind of mindset, I think you will be going in the business and you have to just overcome those challenges. It's another day, otherwise you will black out. and I think that will stop the entire business.
But for that time, for that situation, it would be blanked out. And then you
see,
come
if
over
you
and
blank out,
you're
I
just
think
too young.
You remember one word, maybe this, when I was very young, one of my director, I was working in UK, his name was Nick Sheldon. There's some huge big problem where everybody were like, oh my God, what to do next? He says, cool down, Meg. Sun sets every day and shines the next day. And I was shocked, and it really means. Think about this if you can when you have a black whatever. Think sun sets today and then tomorrow sun rises and it is bright and shiny.
Yeah, so for the black days, I just want to add, I moved from US 4 years back. First year just went in just fighting fires with respect with my kids because they weren't adjusting to Indian climate at all. After that, I started this startup, Kodak Analytics, and I had this US experience and this US pictures of how data analytics is used in retail sector. With that picture, I started off in India, and that was a disaster. I mean, I absolutely learned the hard way that data analytics in retail sector has to go a long way. But I spent almost 1.5 years before I learned that it's not going to work in retail sector, and then kind of changed my strategy and targeted some other sector. So it's every day you're fighting some fire or the other. It's really I'm all the days.
No, but that's the price we are paying for learning.
Yes, for being an
So these black dates are more like fee structures that come and hit you.
That note, thank you panelists. It was a great discussion. Thank you for making it. Thank you audience. I think you were really participative in the discussion. We appreciate that.
And we have a little something for that.
We have a little choice from that.
Thank you all. We are available.